getting the link.
All right. We're on
there.
We're on the air. Need to go on to the. Sorry about that, folks. What had happened was the shit that is next has apparently affected our audio stream. I'm now to make sure that it is a good quality.
Is it?
Nope, it's still garbage. It is still fucking.
Gotta come in today.
Can't do anything.
It's freaking looking up.
So what the is? My ping not. It's hovering around.
Sounds like a thing. You start the TV thing.
Unfortunately, that's one thing they're not going to do. Apparently, Nintendo's going to its trap out and they're not doing a press conference.
Still garbage.
And that sucks. They're going to release at the end of the year sometime.
NX got pushed back to 2017, buddy.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Mm-hmm. March. Same thing with Legend of Zelda Wii U.
Oh, there we go. It's fixed.
We're good?
Yeah. Fucking goddamn it. I found the issue.
What happened?
Fucking the repeaters. The repeaters for virtual audio cable. Alright. So,
So you're gonna try it, number 3?
No, we don't even we're still up. We're still going.
Oh, we're still going? Okay.
Yeah.
Along, baby.
People have been listening to, well, I mean, nobody's been listening to this, but we've been broadcasting. Alright, so, for those that are tuned in, the issue was virtual audio cable, which is a shit show if you have to use it and run audio repeaters, because it's a big pain in the ass. I can't believe it's already fucking 8:45. Alright. Get us up here. We got dead air going on.
All right. So okay. So the last little news bit that we have, and our last little news bit is Chris Jericho's light up leather jacket, which he yells worth $15,000 as it was being destroyed, is actually listed at $25,000 retail on creator Jonathan A. Logan's website. So I guess Jericho got the workers' rate.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm. He got the workers' rate. He got the Good Brother. No, he got the Good Brother discount, that actually.
Quite a lot of high-quality leather, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Well, since it's destroyed, I say go ahead and let Finn have the jacket now.
Oh,
I don't think that.
You did forget one news bit, though.
Oh, what was that? Which one?
What?
The Ryback
Which
one, buddy.
Oh, the Ryback one.
Yeah.
One interesting demand Ryback had in his contract negotiations was that the WWE pay for hotels while on the road. Dave Meltzer notes that this is the case with almost most other major professions. So he was asking for something that should have been fair use anyway. Oh, that's not surprising.
Apparently.
And the Fed not giving it to him? Oh, that's not surprising at all. I mean,
in my youth, I remember thinking that all the wrestlers, they came to the arena in limos, they got put up in the nice hotel in town.
Right.
And then you see that episode of Confidential where the Dudley boys are checking into a Best Western, and shattered my whole perception.
Mm-hmm.
A rental car, and I mean, I guess they don't really stay there very long. I guess they just need it for 6 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Or less. All right, so we're going to move on here from the news, and we're going to go into our 15-minute time limit. So let's talk about the past week in wrestling of sorts, as Yankum continually rings the bell for some reason unbeknownst to me. This past week in wrestling was an interesting one with all of the releases and whatnot. We started to talk about what I'd wanted to talk about in this particular segment with the first news bit, which was where everyone else is going to end up from these releases. Let's expand on that just a little bit. So basically the only notable people that are actually going to go do anything, in my opinion, is going to be Sandow and maybe Riley, maybe. And then Torito and Hornswoggle down in Lucha Underground or AAA or something like that. And then Hornswoggle being on some sort of Chikara King of Trios team, which I could totally see happening.
I can see that too.
I definitely don't see Hornswoggle retiring or anything. He'll definitely be out on the independent circuit. Because from what I understand, that guy actually eats, sleeps, breathes wrestling. He really loves wrestling and is just a big old mark, and that's why he even got into it in the first place.
Oh, sure, and I mean he's got a novelty that a lot of other people don't have, and I don't know how far it'll get him. Again, we talked about guys like, maybe Ryback kind of doing the New Japan thing, or maybe Sandow doing the PWG thing. Hornswoggle can do the convention thing. You know what I mean? He can appear for places. He can do segments. He can do matches. He's not obviously not a contender for a title, a world title, or what have you. But he doesn't need to be. Obviously, he can bank on his own. He can bank on his uniqueness, but now he can also bank on his fame.
It's true. That's true. What I'm wondering is, so we know that there may be more coming. I know that today, word was going around that before Cameron was the one that got axed, the last person that was going to get axed was actually Tyler.
That would surprise me just a little bit, because I think the thing is, he's been there a while. He was in NXT 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of they have a weird kind of thing going on with him, because they almost immediately decided once he debuted on the main roster that he was just at the bottom, and he was, kind of our truth tier, and not, no disrespect as I say that, but you know what I mean by that. Just kind of doing the goofy segments and, doing the job if he needed to, and not really in any storylines, or, even Truth has storylines now, but, kind of, to use that word again, kind of the novelty, that's kind of his character and everything. He's not really in the mid-card club with Ziggler and Owens and Zayn and, Neville and all those guys who kind of bounce around the IC and US titles. So I guess I could see it happening, just because, kind of going back to my original point we were talking about in the news, you've got all this new stuff, these new relationships with companies and these new guys coming in to generate buzz, ex-TNA guys, and there's only so much room, you know what I mean? And I think the longer you're there and the more you're kind of most likely getting paid and such, and the more your star has sort of come and gone, or is dimly lit, then they're going to start looking at more of these guys. And even though they might even be semi-popular guys, they might be fairly well known, they might have a good work ethic and this and that, but I mean, remember, back for the last 10, 15 years, it's all been pretty much homegrown WWE. And now it's like guys from literally all over the world, all these promotions, all these skill sets, and, there's not going to be enough room for certain people that, don't necessarily have that one kind of spark at that moment,
Yep.
If Zack Ryder never got better, for example, never got ripped, never went down to NXT, try to reinvent himself, he's got the same gimmick, that's perfectly fine, but he's become a lot more serious about, his wrestling and trying to look good in the ring and that kind of thing. If he hadn't done that, he would have been on this list.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it.
Don't hold your breath. I don't want to say anything, but they said more's coming, and you never know. I don't want to see him on that list at all.
Well, nobody does.
But man,
guys like Bo Dallas, Heath Slater, everybody in that Outcasts gimmick.
Yeah.
You've been with the company for a while.
Adam Rose.
You don't have a place. Damian Sandow, I think, got the biggest robbery of all time.
Yeah.
I think that he should have won he should have won against Cena when he had Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm. He should have won against Cena. Oh my God, he got the Raw deal.
I mean, like I said, it's kind of like it's almost like a reality show, where you start with 20, and there's obviously some really bad ones, and there's some drama queens, and they're gonna, they're fun to watch and everything, and then you get to about the top 7, 6, 5, 4, etc., and the judges start saying, well, you're the best of the best, and you're gonna go, good people are gonna start going home, and it's gonna be for the tiniest thing, tiniest mistake, this and that. I mean, it's kind of a bad allegory in terms of calling these guys bad, but you know what I'm saying. It's the fact that
there's that thing there that no one likes. It's a small thing, but
in Cameron's case, I think that it was because she opened her mouth about the Adam Rose thing. To be perfectly honest, or the
well,
thing. Either one.
Cameron never really deserved to be there. And Cameron was never really a wrestling person, in my opinion, Now, I'll say this, I respect the fact that she was there, and she tried it, and she was on the road, and she was trying to make herself look good, and she was in the ring, and she was taking bumps. I respect anybody who can do that, because, it's not like she was in the trailer all day, you know what I mean? It's not like somebody else was doing her bumps for her. But she really wasn't a wrestling kind of person from what I gathered, There was the whole, first of all, she's on Tough Enough, whatever. She got eliminated first, whatever. But, she was very new to it all. But I feel like she never really, they kind of signed her anyway. And then she kind of, you hear stuff about how, like, Austin's backstage for whatever reason, and she's in the Funkadactyls, and she comes up to him and, kind of gloats that she's the only one from Tough Enough who's there, and, and then reports about her trying to bribe a cop to get out of a DUI because, she's famous now and everything, and she can't risk that, and, which, by the way, I don't know how you don't somehow, I forget if she ever got punished. Well, that, and I don't think she even ever got punished for that. I think, I mean, that's a lot of, not that anybody important, reported on it, but you know what I mean. I don't just,
It just seems to me that, like, a bunch of these guys, you could definitely clean them off the roster, and then 2 weeks from now, I'll ask you, hey, you guys remember Alex Riley? And you'd be like, yeah, he just got released. And then I'll ask you 2 months from now, hey guys, you remember Alex Riley? And you'd be like, It'll take you a little longer to remember. And then, 2 years from now, I'm going to ask you about Alex Riley, and you're going to be like, wasn't he the guy that was with The Miz?
Yep.
Well, ask me.
I don't think that's the case at all.
Why is that?
I don't think that's the case. Because it's not... Alex Riley wasn't that bad. Like, it's not like he's bad. He just never really had a chance. Well, he was kind of bad when he was with The Miz. But he's not bad now. And I think if he was actually given a chance, he could maybe be a decent mid-carder. Somebody that, you put the good mid-carders against the job.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got to be a jobber, and I think Alex Riley would make an excellent jobber.
He did, but now we have jobbers. We have the Jobber Kings, which are, Bo Dallas, Heath Slater, Adam Rose, and that other guy. The social outcast, Curtis Axel.
It's your boy.
Poor Heath Slater. That guy gets saddled with more shitty group gimmicks than anyone I've ever seen in wrestling. At least as far as I can recall. Every other fucking week, that guy's got a new fucking faction that he's heading up. And it's just can we stop now? This isn't necessary.
Yeah. He deserved one singles push just so he could solidify himself, and he never got it, and it's a shame.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, I think that his spot on the card is perfect. I believe that he doesn't need to be anything more than what he is. There are some people, like you were saying, need to be jobbers and stuff like that. He sells really well. He's got a very punchable face. And he doesn't exactly exude to me superstar. He exudes to me a guy who's credible and threatening. Threatening in the ring, yes. A guy who you would put up against and, could sell and get over for somebody. But but connecting with the crowd and getting behind him and that kind of thing, I never really saw that in any of his runs, which is why I haven't liked him.
He's totally somebody that, with the mid-card titles being mid-card titles right now instead of being, decent, he was definitely somebody that I would consider for a comedy heel title run. Like the one Santino had. The one Santino had was fucking beautiful. That was perfectly done.
Right, but we're having that right now with Miz. We're having that right now with Miz.
Miz isn't funny.
People would.
That's my point.
Miz to Heath Slater.
Heath Slater is funny though.
Right, Heath Slater is funny, but you got to remember, funny isn't money.
Funny is money. People.
Speaking of that, man. Did you all see that Twitter war between him and Kenny Omega?
Oh dear Jesus.
Oh, Corey's gotten into it again with somebody.
I saw a gif of Jim Cornette wrestling a fucking Ninja Turtle.
Well, anything out of the ordinary sets Corny off.
Can I stop you for a minute? Wrestling a Ninja Turtle. Which one?
Hold on, I'll find out.
Because this is important information.
It's on Gunner. It's on Matt Jackson's Twitter. He's the one that posted it.
Right. Because, if it's Leonardo, then that's bullshit. But, if it's Donnie or Mike, sure. There's no way Leonardo or Raphael are going to get in wrestling rings. They take themselves way too seriously.
I'm looking.
The funny thing about it, too, Cornette's in, full-on gear, and his head's completely white. The rest of his body is, beet red. I'm talking Brother Love red.
Poor Corny. That man is going to die of a coronary because somebody's going to do something silly in wrestling, and he hates that shit so fucking much. And just one of these days, he's just gonna either his heart's just gonna go implode, or he's gonna have a stroke.
Someone should show him Hood Slam.
Someone should show him. I can't remember who else in it. It's Colt Cabana and two other guys, and one of the guys has a dick of steel, and Colt Cabana goes to like low blow him, and he punches the guy in the dick, and like pretends like his hand is broken, and then he's got the guy with the steel dick has a sucker in his mouth, and he sticks it in the other guy's mouth, and the other guy's like,
Are you talking about Joey Ryan?
Maybe that's what it is.
Colt
I can't
Cabana
remember.
versus was that in DDT?
I think it might have been.
But like the sucker goes down the front of one of the guy's pants, and then it gets stuck in Colt's mouth, and it was really funny, and it was good wrestling. Like, it wasn't bad wrestling just because it was funny. I don't understand that point of view that if something's funny, that it has to be bad wrestling, because there's good wrestling in there as well as the funny stuff. Now, I could see the argument against throwing the Chuck Taylor throwing the invisible grenade at what was it, the colony? Because that's a little too silly for my taste, personally. But you know,
that's it, Gunner.
Completely understandable.
Which Ninja Turtle was it?
It's not any discernible Ninja Turtle. It's just a Ninja Turtle.
Okay, but he's gonna have a mask across his face, right? He's gonna have a mask around his
you
eyes.
can't really tell the color because the color's so ass.
Well, that sucks. Anyway,
It's like one of those cheap ones.
I don't know, man. Like, there's definitely going to be a bunch of more releases, and some of them we're going to call bullshit on, and some of them we're going to go, that makes sense, and that's what happens every year.
I'm still waiting for the Summer Rae one.
I don't think Summer Rae's going anywhere. She's hot.
Yep.
Really?
Vince won't.
I can't put Summer Rae and hot in the same sentence except for this one.
Well, Vince is not going to. A lot of people think she's hot. I'm sure Vince thinks she's hot. Like, I'd stup her.
That is the greatest thing I've ever seen you type. Oh my god.
I wouldn't hang around, but I would stup her. Anyway, the point is, tits and ass, Vince isn't going to let it go.
Right.
Unless,
like,
unless it's somebody like Natty, he would let go, because she's. I like Natty. I think she's a beautiful woman, but she's not. You know.
Well, she has been there a long time. You know, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Another name that I heard was Orton. They may be on the chopping block. I know he's coming back.
I don't think so.
But apparently
Orton
has been floating around on the chopping block because of the
See,
injuries.
that's a weird one to me because he does get injured, you know, every once in a while, and but the thing is, he's like, it's kind of like letting. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time they let a major star go, and he's been there a while too, and he's not necessarily, you know, Mr. WrestleMania anymore or anything. But I don't know. That's to
be fair, that's not really Orton's fault. It has a lot to do with the way that they book him. The way they book him is fucking shiza. He's boring as fuck. Just an absolute fucking snore. That's not him. It's like the way they're booking him and trying to make him the next Steve Austin. And it's like, no, just let him be Randy Orton. Randy Orton was good enough.
By the way, we can totally be your alibi when you're burying that body in the back, Yankum, because I totally heard you do that.
When you get out of Ravenholm over there, we'll end the show.
See, now you made the dog upset. Good job, guys.
The dog heard him.
That's where Save Us Dog went this week.
All right, I don't need this because you're gonna.
Oh no! Do you know what that means, Gunner? He's next.
Oh God, he's next. Oh no. All right,
Fire a
so
dog.
all right.
Well-
Last little bit here. I want to talk about what we'll call it, Global Wars. I didn't see it. Apparently, a couple guys did. But was it all right?
God, yes. I loved the ending. The ending was amazing, beautiful. It was awesome. I loved Ishii versus Fish. It was a great match. Same thing with O'Reilly versus Naito. The tag match between Michael Ogun and Tanahashi and Okada and Moose was great. I loved that. I loved the opening four-way. It was a good card up and down.
Yeah, so that happened over the weekend. I missed it, so y'all should go check that out. Does anybody else have anything else to say about anything else that went on this week in wrestling?
Adam Cole's in the Bullet Club, baby.
That's what I thought. All right. I want to go to the. I want ice cream. Who wants ice cream?
We're going to where the Smoky Mountain guys go.
I want ice cream.
All right. Well, let's get some ice cream through
Dairy Queen drive-through.
the Dairy Queen drive-through with the ratings.
Drive-through.
It's gonna be Croc.
So TNA Impact got 303. Fuck, I can't fucking read today. God damn it. It's 3. Fuck this shit. Someone else do it.
Sound it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Florida education system for you. Impact 303,000. Down 9% from 332,000. SmackDown did 2.346 million, up 11% from 2.109 million. And Raw did 3.238 million, down 6% from 3.432 million from the payback bump. All right, and that's it for the ratings. Birthdays, Jester.
Happy birthday for everyone this week. Haven't done this in a little while. And yes, there'll be names. Starting on the 11th, we have none other than Mr. Shooting Star Press himself, Billy Kidman. And, oh, here we go. Yes, this is my world, and you're welcome to it, but Wreck Sean. I think that has something to do with the fact that his career is a wreck. Anyway, on the 12th, we have Avantarida, which I think is some sort of Bulgarian friend of Lana's, and Vic Delicious. Then on the 13th, we have NBA superstar formerly and the Worm himself, Dennis Rodman. And, would be an interesting tag team, Mr. Bend Over. Seriously, where are you getting these from? Fletch? That movie was over 20 years ago. Anyway, on the 14th, we have Robert Fuller, Zack Ryder, Mas Stervet, and I think that's some sort of Gaelic right there. None other than Big Van Vader and Dr. Death, Steve Williams. On the 15th, we have Kevin Von Erich, Ron Simmons, and Jack Sofoloff, who might be a cousin of Bernie Madoff, if I remember correctly. And on the 16th, we have Cody Deaner, The Godfather, Buddy Rogers, and Buster Cherry. Hey, I remember that guy. He was in that band with Buster Poindexter, wasn't he? I think. Anyway.
Buster Cherry was an 80 jobber, Rod.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
I love when he thinks the real names are fake names. That's the best part.
On the 17th, we have Nancy Benoit, one of the greatest managers of all time and woman. Then Jason Blade, and then Earl Hebner and Alex Wright.
And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR.
Yes, this week in wrestling history, circa 1967, where Jose Lothario and Wahoo McDaniel defeat Rocket and Spudnik Monroe for the Florida NWA World Tag Team title, beginning their second reign. Jump to 1981, where Vern Gagne announced he was retiring as AWA World Heavyweight Champion.
That was a big deal and turnaround for that company.
Mm-hmm. All right, now it's time for the Happy Trails. I get to read the Happy Trails. Got to read the ratings.
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not that.
Yeah.
Vernier vacated the title, his 9th or 10th reign, depending on what records you use, and it would later be awarded to number 1 contender Nick Bockwinkel, who Gagne had defeated for the belt on July 18th of the previous year. And in 1983, Bugsy McGraw defeated NWA US champion Greg Valentine via countout in Columbia, South Carolina. And that was This Week in Wrestling History.
All right, now it's time for the Happy Trails. Happy Trails to Triple H, who signed a new contract to remain with the company wrestling with the company for the next 3 years. Also, Happy Trails to Shinsuke Nakamura, whose t-shirt went on sale at the beginning of the month in Japan and immediately sold out everywhere. And before WWE pulls his shirt or puts it on some shitty sale and then just doesn't put any more up because somebody is fucking jealous.
What should we watch this week in wrestling? The Croc.
Ishii versus Fish. It's probably one of the better matches on Global Wars on Sunday.
Jester, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
You know, one of the things I was looking forward to during last night's Raw would have been the proposed main event between Chris Jericho and Big Cass Colin Cassidy, but that never materialized. Thank you, WWE.
What a mark. Yankum, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
I'm going to say Wendy Richter versus Spider. It was the original screw job.
Yeah. That's a good call. Yeah, that's actually a really good call. We won't spoil what happens at the end of that match. Omega BR, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
You should watch Superstars.
Well, you see, I was going to suggest Superstars, but I was going to suggest a very, very specific match at Superstars. It was either Superstars or Main Event from July 18th, 2013, and it was Ryback against the Brooklyn Brawler, and it's the last match of the Brooklyn Brawler in WWE.
Oh, that would be a good one, yeah. And not to spoil too much, but Jester, I believe Big Cass is actually on Superstars this week, so if you want to see him in action, there you go.
Thanks for the heads up, Fearless Leader.
All right, so that's it this week. Thank you very much for listening. You can check us out online at smarksnark.com, twitter.com/smarksnark, facebook.com/smarksnark. Our phone number is 812-408-9666 or 812... Yeah, there you go. Of course, he's a little premature with just about everything in his life. And for myself...
Your mom doesn't complain.
Oh, that's mean.
It's kind of hard to when you're dead.
Well, that's why she doesn't make very much noise at all.
The fact that
except for that squelching noise.
I like
the squelching noise.
I like the quiet. What can I say?
So you're more of a silent rage kind of guy.
Oh God, you win.
Fun fact: Goldust is a mute in Camp WWE, which is funny to me. All right, thank y'all for listening. We will catch you next time. So we wish you well in your past, present, and future endeavors.
Mute Goldust is a terrible waste of talent.
That's a horrible thing to say, Gunner, especially after the tragic events of what happened this week. 9 people lost their livelihoods.
Oh, hold on a second. Actually, speaking of livelihoods, there's a GoFundMe that I want to plug, and I'm going to find that while you guys keep talking.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
If it's the one if the one that I'm thinking that you're trying to get, if it's the one I'm thinking of, yeah, absolutely.
Please let it not have anything to do with Sunny. Please let it not have anything to do with Sunny.
It's not nothing to do with Sunny.
I need you to stop saying her name, because every time one of us says her name, the very next week, we're saying her fucking name in the Happy Trails, because she's fucking got, I don't know, arrested, cancer, selling her body at a convention, making a porno. God knows what else.
So enough of that. Enough.
Okay.
So this is for the Alberta fire victims. If you might have heard recently, in Alberta there is a giant wildfire going on in the city of Fort McMurray. There are tons of people that are being displaced right now because of this fire. I would highly recommend. This GoFundMe was started by Kevin Owens and Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
And you guys definitely should donate to this. It's you could either you could Google GoFundMe Tyler Breeze or GoFundMe Kevin Owens, and it'll be one of the first things that'll pop up. But the link.
Yep.
We'll tweet out later on. We'll tweet out later on after the show. You can check it out. So thank you all for listening. All right. So that was all I had to say.
So if I donate to that, then
I'm doing him again.
Pretty much.
Yep. They need it. When you see the pictures, it looks like you're literally staring into the mouth of hell. That's a horrible thing.
Yeah, without giving too much up, I live across the border in a neighboring state. The smoke is horrible. Please help these people.
Yes, and good night, Bensonhurst.